Deadpool and Wolverine. Okay, I'm back from the theater. Just saw Deadpool and Wolverine. We're going to talk about this movie using my space system: story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 and 2. 2 is the best you can get in any category. I was looking forward to this big time. Love Wolverine, one of my favorite characters. Deadpool is not one of my favorite characters, but I really like him in the movies. So Deadpool in the films is amazing, and I do like Deadpool when Rob Liefeld writes and draws the thing. So Batter Blood was one. I did like Deadpool Samurai though; that was pretty good. That wasn't Rob, but mostly I like Deadpool when Rob is involved in some capacity. Love Deadpool 1, love Deadpool 2, love Once Upon a Deadpool. I think that's a hilarious movie. So really looking forward to this. I'm Canadian. We support Ryan Reynolds. Best line in the movie is something to do with Canada. I'm not going to say what it is for the Canadians out there. There will be no spoilers. I am going to do a stream this Saturday talking more in depth about Deadpool. But I liked this movie, but I wasn't dying over it. And to start off with the storyline, I'm going to give it a 0.5 for story. There's a lot of messed up stuff in here. The entire premise that begins the movie is very flawed. Matthew McFadyen, great actor. He plays Paradox, who works for that Time Bureau thing or whatever it's whatever TVA time, whatever. And he grabs. You saw this in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. He grabs Deadpool, and then he tells him a bunch of stuff, and I'm like, why would you tell Deadpool this? So he tells him all this stuff, and then that starts the movie, and you're like, but why would you tell him that if you don't want if you don't want Deadpool to do a certain thing, you wouldn't tell him about it. So it's like saying, hey, if you do this, your dog will die. If you do this, your dog will live. And then you're gonna be like, well, I'm gonna do this so my dog can live. And that's what he doesn't want you to do. Like, if you do this A, something bad will happen, or if you do this B, something good will happen. So I want you to do A. I want you to do this thing so something bad will happen. And Deadpool's like, well, I don't want to do that. It's just so weird. And then the rest of the movie, like the way it concludes itself, I can't do spoilers. The way it concludes itself, you're just like, so why is it okay now? And it kind of, I talked about it with Steven and Sean and Brennan and my other buddy, and we kind of figured out like what's going on. So we kind of understand what's happening, but it's very just like contrived. The other problem is that you're getting Wolverine, and it's like, but it's not the Wolverine that we know. Now it's the Wolverine in the costume. I'll get to the characters. I'll say that for the characters. So that's the problem with the story. Also, other things that happen where it's like characters come and go, and you're like, okay, why is this even happening? It's just weird. You'll have to watch the movie or come to the spoiler thing, and we'll talk about it then. The pacing, I'm going to give the pacing a 1.5. The pacing was pretty good. I can't give it a 2. It was only 2 hours and 7 minutes, but man, there needs to be 15 minutes cut out of this, because the problem is that the story is such that many scenes repeat themselves. Deadpool and Wolverine meet up with each other. They fight each other in this really cool battle. Then they fight each other again. It's like, they fight each other, there's some dialogue. Then there's another big fight with them. Then there's some dialogue. Then there's another big fight with them. And I'm thinking, why do you keep repeating this? I got it. They fought each other, they didn't like it. Like, when are they going to team up and actually be together? That doesn't happen till the very, 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 very end. The entire movie is them beating the crap out of each other. And it's not really what I wanted. I want them to team up. Of course they fight in the beginning because they don't know each other. That's the point. They should have become somewhat buddies quicker, and I want to see them team up and go do cool stuff. So it didn't really happen, but it did feel long, especially with the repetitive. Like, by I think the third time that they fought each other, I was like, oh, okay, can we cut this scene and just move on? Like, they're gonna team up, right? Anyway, but it's not boring. Most part of it is pretty damn good. So I'm still giving it a 1.5. I just can't give it a 2. I can give a 2 out of 2 to the artistry though. The action in this movie is bloody awesome. And I mean bloody. There's a lot of gore, great choreography. You could see everything clearly. I mean, some of the fights were insane. There's a lot of fights, and each one of them was pretty insane. There is a lot of music. I was going to take a half point off for like a lot of this repetitive pop culture music. You kept, Madonna, and you hear all these popular songs, and I'm like, do I really need like 14 of these in this movie? If there was just one more song, I would have taken a point off, but I'm okay with it. If someone does take a half point off, I can understand. But Deadpool's costume looks bloody awesome. Wolverine's costume looks very good, especially when he has the mask. Man, he looks awesome. They could have had this from the beginning, really. So yeah, artistry, banger, great stuff. The characters, here's where I'm a bit torn. I love Deadpool and I love Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. He's the reason I like Deadpool at all. I actually have the first appearance of Deadpool right there. The lighting's not great here today because I'm doing this at night. Love Deadpool because of Ryan Reynolds. When he first came out, I thought he was really cool and he looked cool, but I couldn't get into him. But after seeing the Deadpool films, I went back and revisited his comics and I reread his miniseries and that kind of, a few of his miniseries, and I liked him a lot more, mostly because I was listening to the voice of Ryan Reynolds, and not just because he's Canadian. Cassandra Nova, man, she's awesome. She's damn good. We've seen X-23 in the trailer. She's awesome. I actually really like her a lot. I think she's actually really cool. I would have liked to have seen more of her in the movie. She's awesome. Cassandra Nova's great. Matthew Macfadyen is a great actor. He's a little bit underused in this role, but still pretty good. Now let's get down to Wolverine. So I'm giving this a 1.5 out of 2. 1.5 out of 2. This isn't Wolverine. We didn't get Deadpool and Wolverine team up. We didn't get it because we got it in the looks department. They look like the characters, but it's not Wolverine. The thing is that it's a different character from a different timeline who has a different past than the Wolverine we know and would love to see team up. So this character has this big arc and all that. I'm like, yeah, but he's not the hero. And there's a whole sad story with him. And I'm like, but this sucks. I don't like this Wolverine. I just want normal Wolverine. Like, I thought that was the point of this movie. So I'm still giving it a 1.5 because I did like the characters. I'm not going to mention there's a lot of cameos. The cameos are just there to be cameos. No one really does anything cool. Like, there's a couple of cameos like, oh, and my theater was erupting. Wow. Ooh. And then that character doesn't really do anything. They're just there in a fight. You're like, okay, well, they're there in a fight, so who cares if they're here or not? Like, it almost doesn't really matter. That's a personal thing. The cameos don't get me jazzed up, nor do they take away. So it's like they're just there to be there. But yeah, Cassandra Nova's awesome. X-23 is great. Deadpool's great. The character of Wolverine that we got was okay, but enjoyment factor, I'm going to give it a 1. So that's to say that I liked it, and I'm definitely going to buy it on 4K to complete my Deadpool collection. Of course, I must own it. Overall, there was a lot of cool things when Deadpool was going through different dimensions and we saw multiple versions of Wolverine, and they were all really cool. And I think you're going to get a lot of fun out of seeing that. I'm giving a total score of 6.5 out of 10. That is a pass. A 5 or a 6 in my system is a pass, so it's definitely above a pass. But I'm not in love with this movie the way I was with the first 2 Deadpool movies, and especially, I guess, the first one, though I did really like part 2 a lot. I think that I just wanted, like, regular Wolverine teaming up with Deadpool and not this Wolverine who's like this, busted, broken man again, and he's just like a loser. I'm like, well, what is this then? And yeah, he's going to be a hero by the end of it, of course, but it just takes too long. Like, I wanted to see them together fighting, and you get that, but there's a lot of bickering and it gets real tedious real fast for me. It was great in the beginning. It was hilarious the way that they hated each other and they fought. Now, like, this is hilarious. The first 20 minutes, but there is still that part with the story, which I was like, oh, that's kind of crappy. Like, this is stupid. Why would you say this? But I guess I'm stuck with it. So I was like, well, I'll play along with the movie. The cameos are fun. They're a one-time fun. You watch it again, you're like, okay, now I know they're in this movie, so it doesn't matter anymore. The heart and soul of it is not there. This feels like, just like an elongated music video with characters that you like show up. So 6.5 out of 10. A 5 is sort of a pass. A 6 is a little bit better. So I still really liked it. I'm going to be in the minority. Everyone's going to say this is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. I can guarantee you that. But I think if everyone just calms down for a second from all the cool things that you're looking to see and actually think about this movie, like what actually happened besides the 2 of them. It's almost like they made this movie just for the two of them to have fun with each other, and we're along for the ride, and that's great. I'm still giving it a 6.5. Please don't comment saying I hated this and whatever, because it's like I've explained my system to you, and I'll know that you haven't watched the whole video if you start saying that. I liked it, but I didn't love it. That's the problem. So it was a cool movie. I'm going to watch it a bunch of times because I watch comic book movies a bunch of times. So I liked it, didn't love it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like my space system, please like the video, consider subscribing, all that good stuff. Join us for the live stream. We're going to talk it out with spoilers so we can talk better and more in detail. And maybe I'll change my mind. Maybe people will give me a lot of great points, and maybe I'll bump the score up. So that's it, everybody. Thanks for watching. Until next time.